Support for this program is provided in part by Guido's Fresh Marketplace. Welcome to The Natural Cook. I'm Anna Gershenson. Today we have an episode devoted to the spring coming. It's actually here, although we don't feel it yet. It's still cold outside, but it will be here in no time. And we need to prepare our bodies for shedding all this heaviness that we accumulated through the winter. We were eating heavy foods to keep ourselves warm and cozy, but now we need to cleanse them. And the organ that does a lot of cleansing, which is like a general in our body, is our liver. So today, everything that you see that I have prepared on the set is produce. These are the vegetables and fruit that are most nourishing for your liver, and also cleansing, detoxifying, helping it do its work, making your body clean. So this is what we have today. Everything that you see, arugula, as well as fennel, apples, beets, Brussels sprouts, garlic, asparagus. So we'll make two different salads, and they will nourish you and delight your senses as well. So just come along and watch how I do it, and do it at home. So first we'll prepare the dressings. And garlic will go into both dressings, and fennel seeds, which are really wonderful for detoxifying and helping you digest food, are going to be in a dressing as well. So I'm going to put the fennel seeds onto my skillet. I preheated it a little bit. I don't want it to go too high, too hot. And I start smelling. As they are toasting, you will start smelling, and you can help yourself by making this motion and kind of having this air wafting towards your nose, where you can smell, and I can smell it already. I also did some prep in advance. I took walnuts, which are also good for your liver, and I put them in a 350-degree oven where they were toasting for about 10 minutes. You can also smell. You don't want them to go too dark, but you want them to kind of give this nice toasted aroma. So once the fennel seeds are done, and I see that they are already beginning to change color, that's another sign that you know that they are toasting. I will put them into mortar and pestle. You can also use a spice grinder. There is a very nice spice grinder on the market now that is great for grinding spices that you can check online. I'm going to turn it off, and I will use probably half a teaspoon of fennel seeds and grind. And this will be flavoring the salad that we will be making with fennel, actually. We are going to be making fennel salad with fennel flavored dressing. Okay, and it smells just amazing. I love the smell of roasted fennels. All right, fennel seeds. Now we are going to take our garlic, and garlic, of course, is wonderful for detoxifying your liver, for nourishing your liver. And an interesting piece of information that I got from this book by Anthony Williams, Liver Rescue, is that actually your liver is feeding on glucose and fructose, and it needs this kind of nourishment in order to do all its work. So he's suggesting that you eat, fruits, feed yourself fruits, and also vegetables that have glucose and fructose, like maybe sweet potatoes, that you feed them throughout the day, maybe at kind of 2-hour intervals to help your liver chug along. Okay, like bananas, for example. He's saying that bananas are wonderful food for liver, and also it's great to have a banana when either you are taking supplements or you are eating food that is dense in nourishing ingredients. Also, for this period of cleansing, it's a good idea not to overload yourself on proteins and fats, and include more fruits and vegetables, as well as berries that are absolutely wonderful for your liver. Okay, so let's put this here, and we're going to grate the garlic. So we'll take 1 garlic clove, and we will use different acidic mediums for both salads. One salad will be with apple cider vinegar, because we are going to use Brussel sprouts, which are fantastic for your liver, and I'll explain why later. And the other one, with fennel, will be with lemon. So we will grate garlic into 1 bowl, 1 clove of garlic, because I'm not making a lot. If you're making for a bigger family, you can make more dressing. Or if you want to keep it in the refrigerator, you can make more and then keep it in a little glass jar where you can store it for probably 3-4 days. Okay, so this one also gets. And then what is good is that when you add your acid, like lemon or apple cider vinegar that I'm using for the second dressing, and let it sit with garlic, your garlic softens. So you still have these wonderful properties of garlic that are preserved, but you do not have that sharp garlic flavor that might be offensive. So let's add maybe a couple of tablespoons of apple cider vinegar here, and a couple of tablespoons of lemon juice here. And when you are making your dressing, then the ratio of acid to oil, when I'm making dressing, I usually do it 2-to-1 ratio, 2 parts of oil to 1 part of acid, because I like my dressing to be really assertive. And if you add more oil, then it will soften it. And then I will also add some salt, maybe half a teaspoon of salt. And it will be sitting, and we can actually add our fennel seeds also to this. And they can sit together and infuse. All right. So we have our little whisk. We can just whisk it to help it blend together, and we'll put it aside right here. So we don't need the stove anymore, stovetop. We don't need the oven anymore. So now we proceed with our vegetables. So the first salad is going to be made with fennel. And fennel is a wonderful vegetable that is good roasted. It's also good raw. And what you want to do when you are buying it, make sure that it's heavy for its size. I like having these fronds. Some of them come without them, but I like adding them, and they're very beautiful. And you can also, if you don't want to chop them up and add them to your salad, then you can just use them for decoration. But they're definitely edible and also have nutrients. So you can do it like that, or you can it's more comfortable probably to peel it towards you. And once you peel, sometimes the outer layer of your fennel head is not so great looking, so you can just remove the outer layer, like take off the whole outer layer. But this one looks really nice and fresh, and I will just peel it so that I don't have to waste this beautiful vegetable. All right, so I will cut off the end, and then I will cut off this side as well. And this you can use for broth. If you are making vegetable broth, you can definitely add it to your vegetable broth, or even chicken soup. If you are making chicken soup, it will be nice as well. Let's put it aside. And so now we will cut this in half. Okay, and as I always tell you, that it's nice to put it down like that so that it's flat, and it's much more convenient for you to slice it. And actually, I like using baking sheets for dressing my salad, because then I can layer things. So I will start assembling. This is not hot anymore. Okay, so let's put it here. All right. So this salad actually is going to be with arugula and also with fennel. So let's start cutting fennel. Okay, we are shaving it thinly like that. It's nice and crispy and crunchy, and it's wonderful food for your liver. Like I said, the liver is actually, its function is to detoxify your body. So blood runs like a highway through the liver, and this blood carries all kinds of things into your liver. It carries toxins as well as nutrients. It carries minerals, and it carries fats. And so the liver needs to determine, what is good and what is not good for your body, because this blood after that travels to your heart. So you want to make sure that this blood is purified, that enough bile is produced to get rid of the fats. Okay, so once this is done, so what we are going to do, we'll start piling. We'll put the first layer with our arugula, which is a little bitter, and this bitter flavor is also great for your liver. Also, dandelions are wonderful. They have bitter flavor. Then the next layer will be our fennel. Okay, and you can chop a little more. All right, and then we will put apple, and we will use green apple, and apples are actually also wonderful for liver, and you should be munching on them throughout the day. And you should buy organic apples. I'm not even going to peel this apple. First of all, apples are on the list of dirty dozen, unfortunately. So you don't want to eat something or feed your family something that is full of pesticides and fungicides and whatnot. So I have at home a melon baller, and I find it very, very handy to use to take out this core, but you can also do it with a nice sturdy spoon, like this measuring spoon is very thick. And so you will take the apple, and you can cut it like this into thinner slices. Okay, and then once it's cut like that, you will then place it flat and covering with your hand and moving your fingers, you will cut it into thinner slices. You can make it into matchsticks, or you can make it a little thicker slices, because This is a salad, and you don't want to have, very, very big pieces, especially that your fennel is sliced fairly thinly. Okay, all right. So the apple is going to go there. As you see, I placed my walnuts on a plate because when you take it out of the oven, the baking sheet, it's still hot and your walnuts will continue roasting, so I moved it. So at this point, I will chop my walnuts. Some of them will go into the Brussels sprout salad, and some of them will go into the arugula salad with fennel. And walnuts are also amazing for your liver. Don't remember that during this season, when you are cleansing your liver, when you are eating avocado or you are using any kinds of oils or fats, just whatever you were eating in the winter, and taking a handful of nuts, make sure that during this season you basically cut it in half, because you want to cleanse your liver. So let's put the walnuts here, and we'll put the rest for the other salad. And then we will also, let's move this to the plate. Okay, all right. So the next thing that I want to use is the lemon zest. The lemon zest is wonderful. It's really gives you nice aroma, and it will flavor your salad and perfume it, because all the oils, as I've told you before, all the oils are in the zest. That lemon has a lot of acid, which is great for developing flavor, for balancing flavor, but this is a very different kind of animal. Okay, and I also brought some capers, because capers are salty and they will add a very, very nice element to the salad. And I think that at this point, we will finish our dressings. So we will add freshly ground black pepper, which adds wonderful flavor, as well as helps absorb nutrients that are in all these wonderful vegetables. All right, so now we'll be whisking in our oil and tasting. And by the way, this salad actually benefits from some mustard. The salad with Brussels sprouts, of course, it will benefit from mustard. So I will add maybe a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and then we'll taste. Okay, and then a little bit of maple syrup that will balance the cider vinegar, which is pretty tart. So maybe a teaspoon, and then we'll taste. Let's whisk it together. And actually, mustard also helps emulsify the dressing. And when you are making the dressing, you are adding your olive oil slowly. You are just at the beginning, just drizzling little by little and whisking and watching how you are creating this emulsion, which happens slowly but surely. And that's why you want your ingredients to be at room temperature, because that will ease it. And then you also want to whisk, and you can see already that you have the emulsion. You can taste and see how abrasive it is. Let's take our tasting spoon. I'll add a little bit more olive oil because it's still too tart, and you don't want it to just shock. You want to have a nice balance. And a little bit more salt, because salt is what brings all the flavors out. And if you under salt, then it's just not going to happen. And let's do this with this dressing. Okay. So this is why it's important to have a nice whisk. You can also do it if you make bigger quantity. You can do it in your blender or in your little Cuisinart. But I always find that I don't want to get into washing this after I make just a little bit of dressing. Okay, let's taste this. Very delicious, but a little more. It's just too tart. Okay, now it should be good. So now that our dressings are ready, we will proceed to the next salad, which is, let's shift this. Okay, oops. We'll put this here. We'll prepare the next baking sheet, and I shaved the Brussels sprouts, and I'll show you how I do it. And I place them first. And so Brussels sprouts have this nutrient that is actually is in all cruciferous vegetables, that's sulfur. And onions have it as well. And sulfur is really wonderful. It is wonderful for your liver. It's wonderful for many organs, and it does great job in your body, but specifically for liver. And what Anthony Williams says is that Brussels sprouts have some kind of very, very special quality because they grow on the mother stalk. And so they have, for whatever reason, they have this very special enhanced even ability to detoxify your liver and help with whatever functions that it's doing in helping you create healthy body. So we will put Brussels sprouts. So depending on how many people you want to feed, you know, you can use like a pound of Brussels sprouts. Here I probably have half a pound of Brussels sprouts. Dill is also another wonderful herb that we are going to be using in both salads. So I washed it, of course, and it's very convenient when you have your salad spinner to just have the basket inside that big bowl that it goes into, and put your herb or whatever green you are cooking, put it there, and just swish it, and then pull it out, empty the water, and then you will have your herbs or greens or whatever you have ready to be dried. And of course you don't want any water there. So we'll put some dill onto this salad and some dill onto this salad. And beets are also wonderful. So we will peel some beets, and we'll add also an apple, which in this case is going to be a sweet apple, not a tart apple. And another vegetable that is absolutely amazing and maybe one of the best vegetables for your liver is asparagus. And I'm not using asparagus today in the recipe. I brought it simply to remind you, but I have many episodes with Maya Linda Tyre. We made 3 different ways of using asparagus. Also my first episode where I'm showing it, also I made asparagus Caesar salad in a different episode. So you really can just go on YouTube and find these episodes to refresh what you can do with this. Okay, so you can shred these, by the way. You can use a shredder to shred these beets, but I'm doing it like that by julienning them and then adding them to my salad. Okay, so once we are done with all of this prep work, then we are ready to just dress them and taste them and enjoy them. So let's put them on top. And again, we are layering, as you can see. We are layering it all. Okay. Let's take our apple. All right, my hands are already red, and you can tell actually that, you know, when you have this vivid color, then you know that it's doing something special for your body, because the darker the color, the more nutrients there are in your produce. So enjoy all the colors, reds and oranges and greens and purples. Definitely just go for it. Okay, so our apple is ready. And we will also add some walnuts to this salad, and then we will just dress. Let's add walnuts. So we have dill. We can add a little bit of capers, it won't hurt, for this salad as well. And then I prepared some feta cheese for this particular salad. Okay, so now I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt over this. Even though I put salt there, but this will help, it will help it, and grind some pepper on top. It really helps with flavoring. So we will just toss together a little bit to distribute the salt. And then we toss this together as well. So let's move this so that I can do them side by side. All right. And now the dressing goes into this salad, not to confuse that this salad is with lemon. Okay, pouring. And this salad is with apple cider vinegar. And we are going to pour this. Okay, and don't overdress. It's very important. You can always add it. You cannot take away. So we're going to toss it together like that. See how beautiful it is? And then we will add a little bit of feta. Okay, here. And toss it again. All right, and all kinds of textures, flavors, just amazing. Now, the dressing is sharp, so make sure that you do not overdo. And this salad looks also very pretty. If you want to, you could also sprinkle some feta on it, because feta goes very nicely with arugula and with fennel, or you could even shave some Parmesan cheese. And then we are going to plate it. And we are going to then feed our family or eat ourselves. So thank you so much for joining me. And please make these delicious salads and detoxify yourselves. Happy spring. Support for this program is provided in part by Guido's Fresh Marketplace.